Is Bitcoin getting ready for a super mega epic rally of 225%? Maybe. Maybe. It all has to do, of course, with the Bitcoin ETF. I would like to look at some parallels that we could see with a Bitcoin futures ETF approval and what we saw with the CME futures approval back in the day. Also, a reminder in this video of why Bitcoin, really all of crypto, and what we're building in this industry is so damn important. Also, of course, diving into the technicals. My name is Lark. Every day I make videos talking about cryptocurrency investing. So if that's a topic you'd like to stay up to date with, maybe learn some more about, make sure you subscribe to the Lark Davis channel. Also, if you take a quick second and gently tap on the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, that would be massively appreciated. And click on the notification bell if you do want to know when I put out a new video. By the way, every single week my team and I produce Wealth Mastery. This is a cryptocurrency investor report designed to help give you an edge on the market. Every single issue, you are going to get a deep dive altcoin report, top tier technical analysis, a step-by-step DeFi tutorial, token sales, airdrops, portfolio updates, NFT news, so much value in every single issue, and it's all just for $10 a week. Click on the link down below me here where you can learn more about becoming a member today. Now let's go ahead and turn over to the charts here. We can see the weekly close here for Bitcoin was absolutely freaking beautiful. That weekly candle right here pushed us up above the resistance at $50,000 and also broke us, more importantly, over the downtrend. So this right here, ever since April, we have been in a downtrend for Bitcoin. We had an attempted breakout here back in early September. That was, of course, rejected pretty soundly. Then we had this. It's come up. It has broken above this downtrending line right here. Now we are getting close, very close, to reaching a new all-time high for Bitcoin. Of course, our next major area of resistance is here at $60,000. So that is the big one we need to tackle next. That may not happen on the first try. Of course, we get a bullish news catalyst like an ETF approval. Yeah, that's just going to cut through that like a knife through butter. If, however, we're just gradually moving up, we don't have any big catalysts, we could see a rejection in that area. I'm still personally looking, to be honest, for a pullback into this area to retest the breakout line as support. So that could see the price coming back down to $50,000 to retest this line here, or even, of course, to come back over and retest the downtrend line here. Either one of those serve as basically the same price target, right around $50,000. I would not be surprised to see it happen. We could even get all the way up to 60K before we see a reversal down to 50K, and then, of course, bounce off to the moon. But man, we are getting close. We're getting close to that new all-time high. And look, if we do get down to 50K, I'll probably add some more Bitcoin there because that'll probably be one of the final stops before, of course, we head off to the moon, get our move up towards 100K. Keep you updated as that happens, of course. But man, seriously, 65K. It's not that far away. We're only $9,000 away from the all-time high right now, guys. For all those people who still think we're not in a bull market, this is a bear market, look back at the history of crypto bear markets. Tell me when this has happened. Tell me when we saw the price of Bitcoin get within, what is it, 12, 13% or something away from the all-time high right now? Hasn't happened. That's when it hasn't happened. This is a big deal we're seeing right now. We're getting ready to push up for new all-time highs. The only question in my mind is, are we going to hit 60K first, or are we going to hit 50K first before that happens? Remember, a pullback to retest resistance, flipping it into support, it's a technically bullish move. So something to keep an eye out for. But I'm rooting for let's just do it, man. Let's do it. Let's blast off. Let's crack 60K. Let's crack 65K. Bring in the bull energy and start painting some new all-time highs. I would prefer that. But I'm also a realist who understands that, well, we may get a pullback situation to retest these areas. No guarantees, just something to have on your radar. Now let's get into the ETF news. BlockFi has filed for a Bitcoin futures ETF, making them the latest in a long line of companies chasing after a Bitcoin futures ETF. So this is a Bitcoin strategy ETF. Now, this is what the SEC has said they would like to approve. They would like to approve a Bitcoin futures ETF product. They've said right now they don't really want to see a spot Bitcoin ETF being approved, which, as you know, is some total freaking BS, because a spot Bitcoin ETF, it's the better product. It's what people actually want to buy. A futures ETF, it's paper garbage. But you know, market does love paper garbage, so even if we get one of these inferior products approved, we could still see a big price pump. Anyway, the BlockFi Bitcoin Futures ETF, it's got to get the frick in line, because there's a lot of other Bitcoin Futures ETFs in front of it. As they say here, this is a report from Bloomberg Intelligence, the SEC will likely allow Bitcoin Futures ETF to launch this month. ProShares will go first if the agency follows its typical path, though allowing multiple ETFs to begin trading at once would avoid providing a first mover advantage. ProShares filed first and already launched a mutual fund in the US with the same strategy on schedule 77 days after filing. There's a chance that Valkyrie wins initial approval despite filing after ProShares, Invesco, and VanEck due to the strict language in its prospectus limiting investments solely to Bitcoin futures. So that is the one they're giving 4-to-1 odds here. ProShares, that date's coming up first, October 18th. They're giving it 2-to-1 odds being approved. Valkyrie's on October 25th. So these are the two most likely ones that we're going to see for potential approval here. Invesco, October 19th. That's a day after ProShares. VanEck, October 25th. Galaxy, November 1st. Advisor Shares, November 3rd. BlockFi, some point off in the future. Now, they're not giving super awesome odds to Galaxy and Advisor Shares at this moment. VanEck's 20-to-1, Invesco's 9-to-1. The likelihood that we see either ProShares, Valkyrie, or Invesco getting approved, pretty damn high, if you ask me. If it was just one of these, well, you know. But the fact that there's so many of them out here to get approved, and this is the exact product the SEC said they want to approve. Yeah, there's like 20 spot Bitcoin ETF applications in, but they don't want to approve those. They want to approve the CME futures backed Bitcoin futures strategy ETFs. Now, these are an inferior product. Again, I just like to make that clear. These are an inferior product to a spot Bitcoin ETF, which is the superior product. But even if we get this inferior product launching, you have to understand how bullish this is for the market overall. So let me just share this with you, because this explains it all. Remember, we have a high chance of seeing one of these getting approved this month. Let's dial back the clock. Let's look at 2017. 2017, what happened? This day right here, we saw the CME futures getting approved. So that got approved by the CFTC. What do we see immediately after approval? Bitcoin moved from $5,500 up to about $7,000. What happened then? A big sell-off happened. We saw the price of Bitcoin go from $7,000 down to around $5,000. So we had that initial, oh my gosh, they approved this futures product. Then, of course, things chilled out, and then the real rally started. Bitcoin went up 225% from the date of the announcement that there would be a launch date coming in December 18th. And then you see, of course, this incredible rally that happened. So you have to understand, with the Bitcoin futures ETFs, from the day they get approved, they don't start trading the next day. They're likely to get approved, and then a month or 2 months later, they start trading. And this is the price action. This is what happened in 2017 for the CME futures approval. The Bitcoin ETFs are a fundamentally more bullish event, even if we're talking about Bitcoin futures ETFs. Now, of course, what happened in that situation? We saw an incredible sell the news event. This was the buy the rumor right here. Well, actually, you're early buying the rumor if you were buying here in anticipation of the actual whisperings of this going on. And you can see there was a decent market rally leading up to that. Some people knew what was going on. Some people got advance notice of this situation, as always happens. Then, of course, The actual announcement was made, the initial rally, the initial sell-off, the mega rally, in anticipation of the final launch. The launch happened and down it went. The biggest sell the news event in crypto history. It'll be interesting to see if it all plays out in a similar fashion this time, where we get Bitcoin futures ETFs approved. We see a nice rally, good correction, and then the mega moon rally where we get, 200%, 150%, 300%, whatever the number is going to be. It's not going to be 225% again, obviously, but we're going to see a big rally. Q4, of course, is usually a big rally in the year after the Bitcoin halving. We are now in Q4. This Bitcoin futures ETF approval, we could see a rally much like this playing out, but you have to keep you're definitely in mind there of the sell the news event that will come on the launch date of those ETFs. It could be significant. There's always the chance that we buck that trend. We start getting some spot Bitcoin ETFs approved, which make the market even more bullish. Because remember, spot Bitcoin ETFs are actually macro bullish for the market because they suck up loads of actual Bitcoin and then push the markets higher. These futures ETFs, they're all paper, they're all garbage. They have the potential to start a bullish news catalyst event, much like the CME futures did, but they don't actually provide real value to the crypto market. But they bring in incredible speculation, which, that's its own good thing, I suppose. Right? So we'll get to all of us will get to sell our altcoins for incredible amounts of money. It'll be great. It will be great. But that's something I think we should be watching out for in this whole Bitcoin futures ETF conversation. I would not be blown away if we saw something similar actually playing out with that whole scenario. Final bit of conversation with you today. I know we talked about Lebanon recently. Well, they're back in the news again. This as part of the Pandora Papers leak that came out. So apparently, Lebanese political and financial elites have been doing the old-fashioned do as we say, not as we do. So the elites in Lebanon, what they did, they collapsed the economy of the country. They completely destroyed the local fiat, destroyed people's livelihoods, sent inflation going through the roof. People can't afford food. People can't afford medicine. They drained the banks of their dollar reserves. They introduced capital controls. Think about this. The political elites, they introduced capital controls, telling regular people, you cannot send money abroad. If you have a child studying overseas, you can't send them money. If you have somebody, a family member who's sick overseas, you can't send them money, or it's much harder to. Maybe you have to go and get an exemption. Maybe you're allowed, if you beg the bank and beg the political class, you're allowed to send a little bit of money to somebody. While all this was happening, while these guys were burning the country down, they were looting the banks, they were looting the economy, and they were taking their money, going around their own capital controls that they themselves introduced, buying properties overseas, offshoring all the money in foreign banks. Every single time with these political elites, it's the same damn thing. They enforce rules on everybody else, and they're doing all kinds of criminal stuff in the background. They're doing the insider trading. They're avoiding their own rules. They're avoiding their own taxes. The taxes they put on you, they avoid them. That's what the political elites do in almost every country. Lebanon, just a stark example of why you really need to buy Bitcoin. Because anybody who was clicked on to Bitcoin, they could have received remittances in Bitcoin from family abroad. These political elites and their banking lackeys, they can't stop that. If they had bought Bitcoin before everything collapsed, they would have protected their wealth dramatically. While the local fiat currency has gone like this, Bitcoin's gone like this. Straight up. Big, big difference. Bitcoin is literally out there saving people's financial destiny. Right here, right now, it's happening. It's not just Lebanon. It's not just Lebanon. You guys know it's not just Lebanon. It's happening all over the world. This picture right here, wow. I mean, just wow. Can you imagine if that was your reality? Can you just imagine that? If you had to take a wheelbarrow full of money down to the market to buy bread. People in a lot of countries have had to experience that. All fiat money is on a trajectory to zero. The only question is how long it takes each individual one. They're all heading in the same direction. And Bitcoin, it's heading in the opposite direction. Cryptocurrencies, they're changing the game. People don't have to suffer the treachery and the deceptions and the hypocrisy of the banking infrastructure anymore. They have a choice. They have an option. They can opt out. They can buy Bitcoin. There you go. There you go, guys. Crazy stuff. Anyway, your question for today: do you think that the approval of a Bitcoin futures ETF is going to spark a mega rally for Bitcoin, or maybe not? Maybe, Lark, come on, man, it's all priced in already. Totally efficient market. Everybody expects it to happen. It's not going to cause a price rally. Curious to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.